What's up, y'all? This is your boy Eddie Jackson. Welcome back to the Drop That Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Laidback TV. Over 10,000 channels, movies on demand, every sports channel, all the languages, all the HBOs that you can imagine. Go on laidbacktv.com. See how you can download it on your iPhones, Androids, and your Fire Sticks, alright? And give them a shout out on the Instagram at official_laidbacktv. Now let's get into some fight talk, motherfuckers. Woo! Alright, guys. So much has happened in the last fucking week. So we'll try to get all we can in a short period of time. Okay. Virgil Ortiz Jr. Lost his lawsuit against Golden Boy Promotions and Oscar De La Hoya. So that fight with Jaron Boots Ennis and Matchroom Promotions is probably not going to happen because he looks to appeal and get off this case when it comes down to Golden Boy and get off Golden Boy completely. I think they kind of jotted down like it was like a $7 million deal, 3 fights with Matchroom, but Golden Boy was trying to give him $3 million plus revenue plus the gate. I think a long-term deal made sense a little bit more when it came down to Golden Boy, and that's a big fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as that division goes, it ain't gonna get any bigger. Excuse me. But yeah, I think Virgil kind of fucked up. Manager probably fucked up the whole situation. But damn, this is not looking good for Golden Boy, because you lose if you gotta pretty much by the end of the year. You lose not only Ryan Garcia, Canelo Alvarez, but also Virgil Ortiz. There's something going on there at Golden Boy that we don't know. So, we'll see. The Gervonta Tank Davis and Isaac Pitbull Cruz fight, the rematch, is being spoke about for 140 pounds come this summer. I think, if we're being honest, this is probably the best icebreaker fight, return fight for Tank Davis. I think he should give up that 135 pound. They stripped it already with WBA. I mean, there's no upside to having a WBA belt. But peep this shit, right? At 140 pounds, let's say Tank beats Pitbull decisively this time, not just by decision. Let's say kind of, finishes them. What's stopping Zuffa Boxing from signing Gervonta Tank Davis? You know what I'm saying? I mean, ain't nobody trying to hear anything about Tank's promotion. You know what I mean? I know you want to be a boss, but, after the kind of year he's had, with that questionable fight with Lamont Roach and all his legal situations, what's stopping Zuffa from getting in a deal? You know what I'm saying? Like, having Gervonta Davis sit down with Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, and working out a deal where Tank's fight after that could be, I mean, personally, I don't think it shouldn't be at no fucking meta apex if Tank Davis sold out the arena out there in Baltimore, his hometown, sold out Barclays, sold out fucking, I think he sold out Crypto. He definitely sold out T-Mobile Arena when he fought Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? And a mega blockbuster fight. Even knocked him out, due to a body shot. I think that's the only way that, because I don't see Premier Boxing Champions, PBC, over there, and Al Heyman. I don't see them resurrecting Tank's career. You know what I'm saying? I think Zuffa and the bag that Turki Al-Sheikh would actually bring to the table could definitely work out for Tank. And PR team would be great, man. I mean, he needs to get, if he's going to compete, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, do these fights. I mean, there are definitely some interesting fights at 140. You know what I'm saying? I mean, personally, I think if Tank was to beat Pitbull, sky's the limit on 2 fights. You know what I'm saying? Well, actually 3. If we're being honest, I say 3. you could probably face a rematch with Lamont Roach. I mean, it's pretty obvious that needs to happen. You can possibly do a fight with Keyshawn Davis, or the fight that people want in Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? I think in order to really clear this up, Tank Davis versus Pitbull, the rematch, and I would say Keyshawn Davis versus Lamont Roach, maybe? You know what I mean? Or, I think Keyshawn definitely needs to, he's undefeated, but what's stopping him from getting a fight with Teofimo Lopez? Lopez only lost one fight, you know what I'm saying, as far as that division goes. So you can make that fight. And then Shakur Stevenson versus Lamont Roach, maybe. I think that makes sense. And winner of Lamont and Shakur take on Tank or Pitbull. Makes sense. But let's see if they work that shit out. Francis Ngannou part ways with PFL and now is on the co-main event of the Netflix / MVP first MMA event that's headlined by Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano, and he's going to be taking on Felipe. I think you say his name right, Felipe Lins, which is interesting. I was at the press conference. I don't know if y'all saw. That's interesting. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna slaughter Lins. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers just look unmatched. Lins has been light heavyweight before. He's on a 4-fight winning streak, but he hasn't fought in like over 2 years. Francis Ngannou, stays in shape. But this is, I think if Francis knocks his head out of the fucking atmosphere, he's definitely calling out John Jones. You know what I'm saying? John Jones just asked for his release from the UFC. They didn't book him. They didn't book him on the White House card against Alex Pereira. We'll get into that. But, Dana White put it out there. John is done. He's got fucking arthritis in his hips, this, and that. Which I agree. Like, if your hips ain't working and you fucking do grappling and all that shit, why book you? Definitely if you're exposing shit, because in the end of the day, we want 100% John, not a fucking injured John who's probably going to be fucking compromised in the Alex Pereira fight. And if I'm being honest, I'm not even interested in a fucking John versus Alex fight. Due to name recognition, yeah, it's great. 100% it's great. But fighting style, what are we going to get? I mean, what exactly are we going to get? Are we going to get a fight, or are we going to get a grappling match? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if he does what he does against Cyril Gane, are we really like, oh wow? No. It was dominating 100%. He exposed the weakness of Cyril Gane, but are we going to get the kind of fight that we got with Stipe Miocic? No, that was an older model of Stipe. And John ain't getting away with that kind of shit with Alex. You know what I'm saying? He'll fucking, kick his knees into existence, or probably non-existence. So, but it's interesting. You know what I mean? It's going to be the first MMA event from MVP. They've been doing regular boxing. They've been doing men's boxing, women's boxing. And now they're going to go on Netflix. Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano is going to be 5-minute, 5-round professional fight. And so is, Francis Ngannou versus Lins. And it's going to be interesting. The press conference was great. Got to see Gina, Ronda, Francis, Lins. It was hosted by Ariel Helwani. Nakisa was there. Jake Paul was there. You know what I mean? Jake Paul, big motherfucker, to be honest with you. I was like, holy shit. This motherfucker should not be at heavyweight. He should be at cruiserweight. But who knows what Jake does later this year. You know what I'm saying? Is he going to come back? I think he will, but higher level skilled fight than what AJ was, I doubt it. for health reasons. I don't think that should work. You know what I mean? Gotta make sense. Eddie Hearn starts Matchroom Talent Agency and signs UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall. I don't think that's a fucking chess move, other than what Dana and Zuffa Boxing did by signing free agent, former Matchroom boxer Conor Benn and getting him a $15 million co-main event on the Tyson Fury card that's going to be on Netflix. I don't think that's Eddie Hearn, I think it was a interesting move. I didn't just sign an MMA fighter. I didn't just sign a UFC fighter. I signed your baddest man on the planet, UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall, who basically an interim title fight for the heavyweight crown is going to go down while Tom is actually healing from his eye surgeries. Eddie could definitely see the contracts that Tom has been signing, but what do? Maybe sue? I mean, we see what happens when you sue the UFC. If you lose big. If you lose quickly or slowly. If you win, it might be a decade until you see something. So I don't know. It might be a chess move, but I don't know if it's a real one. Real American Freestyle Wrestling, RAF, just signed Colby Covington versus Dylan Dennis March 28th in Tampa. That's going to be fucking dope. I want to see what the promo is going to look like. I mean, this is definitely a must-win for both. For Covington, I mean, he's 1-0. He lost, he won against Luke Rockhold, which, I mean, Luke Rockhold is a jiu-jitsu guy. He's a striker. This wrestling gig is definitely Kobe's world. That's his world. So, he's in the right place. You know what I mean? Like Henry Cejudo, this is actually a perfect fucking company for them to make money, compete with your talent in freestyle wrestling. With Dylan Dennis, I don't know, like, this is, the grappling is definitely in his world. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a fair one, actually, because it's a cruiserweight weight limit. But fighting-wise, both of them fight at welterweight. Dylan has to win this. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to be taken seriously as a MMA fighter. He went and did like 2 fights for Misfits, their own belt. You know what I'm saying? Which, I don't know what kind of a big deal that is. Because, I don't know. Nobody fucking takes Misfits very seriously, if we're being honest. But this is a big deal. You know what I mean? There are a lot of corporate heads behind RAF. They back Covington up. Like, there is a no-lose situation for Dylan now. Anything he's involved with, he has to win. Too much time, too many injuries. That Logan Paul fight, all that basically has dropped him down, in some ways. Yeah, you're making money, but when you make fucking money like Dylan Dennis, you're paying pretty much Logan Paul's wife. Going through the lawsuit and your lawyers and shit like that. So I don't see what's the upside of it. You're not going to be in the UFC. Honestly, I don't think he should go anywhere near the UFC. It's kind of pointless now. You know what I'm saying? It's too many elite fighters now that would probably fucking slaughter him. And I don't know. I think Logan is a little too close to it because Prime hydration drink is not just part of WWE, where Logan is part of the WWE as a superstar, but they're part of the UFC, which they fuck with Dana, and Dana fucks with them. And I doubt Dana wants to get anywhere in that mess with Logan and Dylan down there. So we'll see. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. I want to see the press conference. I want to see how Covington and Dennis is gonna, coexist. They great on the microphone. They great with the promos. I mean, they say they both playing characters, judging by who they are in real life. But I guess we'll see. We're definitely gonna see. Before we get out here, we finally got... Oh, my bad. I forgot shit. The BMF Championship. Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. Straight fucking garbage. You know what I'm saying? And fuck Dana for fucking speaking the way he spoke, because when you look at all the BMF fights, that was proven bad motherfuckers. If Charles Oliveira was going to prove he was a bad motherfucker with jiu-jitsu, you might as well just go to UFC BJJ championships. You know what I mean? But who booked this shit? Who the fuck said they wanted Holloway versus Oliveira? I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, who did it? Who wanted this shit? Now Max lost the BMF belt, and we got a jiu-jitsu guy, you know, and kudos to Charles. He did what he had to do to win, but this ain't a BMF fight. You know what I'm saying? And who's going to be really excited for the next one? I'm not. And I don't think I'm interested in Charles getting a fucking lightweight title shot. He ain't earned that shit. How? You got fucking slept by Ilia Topuria. There are probably 2 to 3 fighters in the top 10 who are basically out, who are probably outrank you as far as getting deserving of a shot. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to keep going in this fucking circle. You know, now that you got the BMF belt, we don't need a unification with the UFC belt. Defend it. You know what I'm saying? And I think the best fucking opponent for Charles Oliveira, since you want to come up with that fucking jiu-jitsu shit, get a jiu-jitsu guy who also knows how to punch. Get Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz as your BMF champion is definitely what you need right now. UFC, think about it. And before we get out of here, we got the UFC Freedom 250 card finally announced. Some people excited about it when they first glance at it. Some people say this is shit. Ronda Rousey definitely said it was shit. I say it's mid. And that's half the card. To be honest, that's half the card. You got Lopez versus Garcia. Who asked for it? Okay? Nobody. But I guess they want to award Diego Lopez. And not to mention, there are a lot of fighters who, as far as injury prone, all this shit, whatever. I guess it lined up. Bo Nickel versus Dukas. I think I'm saying his name. Or Drakas. You need Bo Nickel. Okay? You need Olympic. I think he's Olympic gold medalist. I don't fucking know. You needed him. You should have had Gable Stevenson. A real Olympic wrestling champion. Gold medal. But I guess, you got to put Bo Nickel somewhere. Okay, you got Rufy versus Chandler. They kind of owe Chandler something. You know what I mean? He didn't get fucking Conor McGregor. Get him something. That'll definitely put him in like a top 15, but who knows when you go from there. I mean, if anything, he's chasing the lightweight champions. But I like that fight. That's pretty entertaining. Chandler needs a win. Like, this is a must win for him. To lose at the White House to Rufy? The fuck out my face. If Chandler loses this, he's cut. He needs to be cut. Sugar Sean O'Malley, the Sugar Show is back, taking on Zahibi. Okay. You got one of your stars. I think he definitely needed one more fight before he can get Peter Yan. He doesn't deserve Peter Yan yet. So that's pretty okay fight. Hopefully nobody's injured. Alex Pereira not only vacated his light heavyweight championship, but he's moving up to heavyweight to take on Cyril Gane for the interim heavyweight championship. Winner takes on Tom Aspinall, or awarded and promoted to undisputed heavyweight champion. Honestly, I hope we don't get more eye pokes out of Cyril Gane. Cut your fingers off. I swear to Christ, if he tries to put the fingers, in Alex's face, either fucking kick his fucking knees, get some low kicks, or bite his fucking finger off. Plain simple. We need more point deductions, for being honest. And the undisputed lightweight championship is on the line, as current undisputed champ Ilia Topuria is returning to defend against interim champion Justin Gaethje. Gaethje better figure out his game plan for this guy, because this is going to be tough. Kudos to him. You know what I'm saying? Kudos to Gaethje after debuting Paramount early in the year. Now you're at the White House card. Yo, kudos to him, yo. This is definitely a good fucking run for his final title run. But we'll see what happens. I'm your boy, D Jax. This is Drop That Podcast. Make sure you hit that sub button. Comment if you got some disagreements. Likes. Do what you do. All right? Y'all be easy. We'll be back soon.